All right, welcome back to part two of CIS Homework Helper for CIS 132 0404. All right, so we left off subnetting. So, again, here's just a quick little review. So, we discussed that we needed 200 networks or 200 hosts to 6 networks. So, we looked at the network bits. So, remember, double 1 bit, you get 2, double 2, you get 4, so on and so on. So that's how we come up with the network line. So we figured out, okay, 3 bits is 8 networks, and that's greater than 6. So boom, we took it. So then we had to come up with the new mask. So again, that's where we got over here on the left with the purple. So, we added, so we got a new mask of 255.255.224. Again, how did we come up with that? Well, remember we borrowed 3 bits, so we had to add 128 plus 64 plus 32 in the purple on the right. So that's where we are. And then from there, we found out our range by subtracting 256. Again, 256 is the combination of all 8 bits on and off. So that's how we get 256 minus our new mask, and we got an increment of 32. So our network IDs are in increments of 32. So then we just counted 0. And then we added 32. Then we got 32. Added 32 to 32, we got 64. Added 32 to 64, we got 196. And so on and so on until we got to 224. All right. Very quick and easy. All right. So there we go. And then you go back to our spreadsheet. All right, here we go. We just said each switch is a network. We didn't come up with a fancy name. We just said switch networks. Boom. Our server farm, if I remember correctly, from when we did this in class. This was in the 4th place or 5th place. So again, it doesn't matter if you did it in class, then stay with the numbers in class. If you're doing this 100% remotely online, then follow this one, because my tutorial here is going to walk you through all this. All right, so let's go ahead and build part 2. So let's get in there. Let's go with our DNS server 1. All right. So DNS is part of the server farm. So we're going to give it an IP address of .1, because that's what I wrote in that spreadsheet on the list of IPs. So we're going to go 172.16.32.1. Okay, just going to copy that to make my life easier. And that's going to be the DNS. Excellent. And then our DNS is going to be 254. Again, we said the last valid address in our range is going to be used for default gateway. So there we go. We copied it over. So now we got to fix the mask, because it gives us a default mask. So we're going to be using 224, not 225. And then we close out of that. Then we're going to go to services, because this is DNS. And we're going to go here, turn the service on, and we're going to say DNS1, no spaces. And then we're going to paste it in there. We're going to hit add. And then we're going to say DNS2. We're going to paste, or I'm going to paste, and I'm going to hit add. And now I'm going to do 3 and say DHCP and hit add, save. So just make sure. All right, so we have our DNS server working. Perfect. So let's go to DNS2. Yeah, I would have been very surprised if this didn't work because we built it. All right. So let's go here. So it's going to be .2. Again, even though it's running DNS, the operating system still needs to know DNS. And our default gateway is our last address. So that's going to be 191.254. All right. And let's go ahead and get the next one going. Now we're going desktop, clean services. I'll still run the service, so we're gonna, yeah, there we go. No, our DHCP, we said was gonna be 3. So we're gonna go in there and fix the mask. And again, we said 224. And then way outdoor, we're gonna need 192.68. We're going to left this at, and we're going to use the last address. All right. I'm just going to copy and paste. And boom. Make sure you have no spaces. And I'm going to point to myself for the DNS. And there we go. So just so we can see that everything's working. So if we do ping and do 172.16.161. Oh, and I'm missing a number. So that would be 32. Oh, my mistake. I'm spacing out here, so it should be 160.1. I checked the machines. I put the right IPs because I might be getting a little sleepy. Oh, yeah. We are supposed to use this ID, not 3. And that's what makes sense why. All right. Okay. No, we can all make mistakes. Right. All right. Now let's see. Let's ping itself, so let's go with 2. There we go. There we go. So, all right, so now we got this address correctly. All right, so let's go to DNS. So we're going to go to configure or service under DNS. Oh, here's our records. And I put the wrong IPs in there. So let's go ahead, save. And there we go. And we're going to remove that guy. And then if we go back to the desktop, and then if we do the ping command, so if we said DNS1, there we go. It's pinging DNS1. And then 2. All right. So now let's go to our DHCP. And let's go to our DHCP and let's build these. All right. So we can say switch 1 is the default gateway. And we're going to put that up. We're going to just type in 63. And then what was the first address in that? 61. Right. Now we're going to do switch 2. There is our in our DNS. And now we're going to hit add. Oh, I got a space in there. And I have a space in there. Right? That's the bad thing about copy and pasting. You got to pay attention to those spaces. And 3. All right. So there's our default gateway. So there we go. Our DNS we're going to keep. We're going to change this to 127. And yeah, so we're going to hit add. And we're going to change that to a 4. And we're going to go down and grab 4. And then let's take that backspace out. Add that to 159. Or we're going to look at our starting address. I guess it doesn't really matter. We don't have like 200 some computers. So our starting address should be 128. Should be 128.1. All right, we're going to hit add. And now we're going to grab this guy. That's going to be our switch 5. And that's going to be 192. And we're going to hit add. And I have a space there, so no space, no space. All right, we're going to hit add. Then we're going to start the service. All right. So that is part 2. And then part 3 will be the router. All right. See you then.